And we're back. Last time we got the third of four treasures, right?
Yeah, I think. Technically,
So,
it's the second of four treasures,
yeah.
because, like, the second one was, like,
How many episodes were between the treasure acquirings? Like 10?
the real ones or, like,
The
the
real
fake
ones.
ones? Uh, Probably that much? Yeah, I'm gonna eyeball it and say 10.
I wonder how. So I guess it seems like we're properly entering what is assumably the
In
final
the end game
stretch of this
now.
game, which feels weird. Um, but yeah, I guess let's just get.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe this isn't the final stretch, and maybe, like, finding the fourth treasure is, like, it's like that thing where, like, you find all the treasures, but, like, then the real ending is, like, something else where, like, they finally, like, get up the courage to smooch each other.
Yeah. Okay.
The power of love was inside you all along.
Okay. Even when the box is closed, it radiates a heavy aura, one that's almost as intimidating whenever I come near it. I place it in the drawer and seal it away, a sigh of relief following. 2 down, 1 to go.
Whoa, there's only one more piece left?
I think so. There's only some experts writing about historical relevance after the next entry. Flopping down on the couch next to Maria, I take a sip of my coffee and flip it to the final entry of the journal. Marina glosses over the page, a hazy look forming in her eyes as she soaks it in.
Can't believe it's almost over.
Me neither. Yeah, it's weird that it hasn't even been that long. The motorhome
Yeah, it is.
The motorhome goes quiet, the buzz of the generator humming in the background. Well, it's not over yet. We still gotta figure out where it is, and then there's still the search. How long has it been in the story at this point?
I don't know,
Like
like
a week?
2. I'm gonna eyeball it with 2 weeks.
Sounds fair. I think Marina's enthusiasm is becoming infectious. She simply nods, now just gazing into her lap. Well, let's see what it says.
After several days of travel, I believe I have finally arrived at my first destination. It is well known that I have an astute eye for locations. After all, this is how I found my precious bounty, so it's no mistake that I easily found the perfect hiding place within this valley. I arrived on horseback at the blistering peak of noon. Looking for shelter from the coming night, I began noticing something different, something distinct. Crimson, all of it. Shades lighter than pink and darker than blood. The color stained it all, from giant unmovable stones to the tiniest grains of sand. It was as if the land had absorbed the sun's heat and reflected it outwards. Even at sunset, the cave I settled in emanated a bright red glow that speckled out from its opening. That night, as I laid on the ground, watching the flames of my fire shoot up to the cave's roof, I wonder if there were more places like this out of this unsettled land. During my travels on the trail, I was too preoccupied with preparations to observe the world around me. But now that I have achieved success, maybe I shall. It would be a shame if my superb observational skills went to waste.
I was never certain about the other locations, and considering how many giant rocks, canyons, and arches are in this country, most of them were probably just a fluke. But this is unmistakable. The vivid and breathtaking imagery, the constant allusions to flames, and most importantly, the heat. Did it in the Valley of Fire. Marina snaps back to attention, my conviction pulling her back from Marina Land.
Are you sure?
Positive. There's no other place it could be.
Oh.
She might as well have shot down any momentum with an elephant gun. Oh? That's all?
Yep.
No. Oh? What's that? A place always on fire? I don't know how I feel about that Amber Sprite. She narrows her eyes to an unimpressed squint. If they could shoot lasers, they would be right now.
Amber, how dumb do you think I am?
I didn't say you were
Always on fire? Really?
Now I feel dumb for saying it.
Probably should.
Ouch. If her enthusiasm is infectious, then so is my unrelenting realism. It's corrupting her innocence.
By the way, what's the value of fire?
Well, maybe not too infectious. Massaging my scalp, I shake my hair, hopefully creating enough new wrinkles in my brain that will help with explaining this. Alright, so take a whole bunch of rocks, sand, and dirt, okay?
Okay.
Now make most of it red. My explanation is met with a vacant stare. I swear, it's a lot cooler than I'm making it out to be. It's just kind of hard to explain without pictures.
Don't worry, I believe. Sounds awesome. Where is it anyway?
A little ways into Nevada.
Nevada!
Her knees bounce, jolting up the table.
Were you even old enough to gamble?
There's more to Nevada than Vegas, dummy.
Still, isn't that pretty far?
That might work to our benefit. I'll need to check the map again, but I think we'll be passing by a place I want to check out. Her voice brightens.
You actually want to go sightseeing?
Don't act so surprised. It's not like I was just gonna make a straight shot to California before I picked you up. Besides, I think you might like it. Though she does like virtually everything. It's a place called Zion. It's a national park here in Utah. I hear it's a hell of a lot greener than the places we've been through. I know we're in a rush, so we won't stay very long. She's going to burst from excitement, and I still can't resist messing with her. It's cute. But I guess if you don't think we can afford the time... I expect her to throw herself at me, hug me, squeeze me with all the energy and happiness she usually does it with. But she doesn't. Sitting perfectly still, Marina takes a single breath and gazes at me with a smile.
I've been surrounded by desert all my life. Seeing green for once would be nice. I'd love to go with you, Amber.
An unsettling hollowness expands in my chest as I realize I don't know how to deal with a serious Marina. Oh, alright then. She doesn't answer. Eyes now closed, arms folded in her lap. The empty, cooperative smile more forced than ever. Well, there's still a lot of hours left in the day. I'm not sure if we'll make it in time to check out into the campground, but we'll be close enough that we can do it in the morning if we leave now. Marina nods. We scooch out of the booth and walk the 10 awkward steps to our seats. Strapping ourselves in, I switch on the ignition, the RV snorting into being. I reach for the cassette player, then look to Marina, already lost in her thoughts as she stares out the window. I don't have the heart. No. I don't have the courage to snap her out of it this time. Sighing, I bring my hand back without pressing play and pull the motorhome into drive. It's too bad, too. I think I'm really starting to like Marina's hugs. Oh.
Aw. Press an R.
Yeah. Hours and several cups of coffee later, we arrived at our destination, or at least close enough to easily check in the morning, yet hidden enough not to get towed. Marina looks to the window, but her eyes drift back over to me, then mine to hers. For one drawn-out second, our eyes are interlocked, petrified by the other's stare. Then, time continues. Her head swing in the other direction, so fast it takes my mind a few moments to catch up. The side of her cheek I can still see is flushed. Glancing in the rearview mirror, I find mine are too. I grip the steering wheel, then cautiously, without turning my head, look back to Marina. She notices. Our eyes connect again. Blush, rinse, repeat. The past 4 hours have been excruciating, especially while fighting the urge to throw on music. I wanted to give Marina the space to say what she has to, or give myself the space to blurt out what I need to say. It was just... Again, Marina looks. I jump. We blush. Never the right time.
It's about the yearning.
Yeah. Deciding I've had enough, I hop out of my seat and stretch. Marina follows. I grab my mug from the faucet and drag myself across the scratchy carpet to the sink. A small jolt shocks my fingers as I reach for the faucet. The mug slips from my hand and crashes onto the counter, splashing coffee everywhere. Crap.
Let me help.
Marina springs over and reaches for a kitchen rag, but I swat down her hand and grab it just as she does. Don't worry. Now we're forced to look directly at each other, but there's no blushing this time. I nod and pull away the rag as her fingers slide down the fabric. I got this. She stares down at the counter, the spilled coffee trickling onto the floor with a steady drip.
Oh,
Without another word, she slouches back to the couch. If you give me a sec, I can set up the bed. The bed's metal frame slams down with a loud clank that vibrates underneath my feet, followed by the couch cushions swishing past me, landing on the other side of the motorhome. For ya. Damn it. Whatever, I'll deal with this in the morning. I toss the rag into the sink and head to my room, hesitating in front of the slider. Please don't let it end like this.
Amber?
There's a pause. Several times I hear small gasps, like she's about to speak, but they all just melt into sighs.
Good night.
Night. My hand balls into a fist, like fingernails clawing deep into my skin. I step into the room and shut the slider behind me, immediately throwing my face onto the pillow. I can feel my heart pounding as I roll onto my back, lying there, twisted up in my sheet. It just keeps beating and beating, never settling down. Managing to lift myself up on my elbows, I look at the picture next to the slider. Oh, this picture again. The one with the vinyl sleeve. I still remember how his hand felt against my head, from the bony joints of his fingers to how their calluses massaged my scalp. For such a breezy old man, it's amazing to think just how strong and confident his love was. I let my head fall back against the bed and rest my forearm over my face. Aw, man, what am I gonna do, Gramps? What a chapter divide.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this background. A brisk wind curls around me as I step onto a patch of dirt that can barely be called a parking spot, in a place that can barely be called a campground. Misty curtains have settled over the nearby hills and mountains, and small specks of leftover morning dew occasionally drip on me from above. Bending down, I drop my backpack and pull on the tongue of my sorta new hiking boots. A little big, but they'll work. Considering these came from the stash of supplies we borrowed from Maria in New Mexico, her feet must be freaking huge.
Give people ideas.
Oh god.
Set?
Marina's standing behind me, frowning at her own Velcro-strapped boots. Just about. These boots are pretty big, though.
You think so? You feel a bit snug to me.
Sheesh, never mind about Maria.
Change the subject. Change the subject. Change.
Hey, forget about the treasure. Let's just dress you up as Bigfoot and turn you in for a cash reward. The joke is awful, and I know it. She did the opposite of changing the subject. Still, Marina plays along, sticking her tongue out in a half-playful manner before she forces a tired smile. The whole time she doesn't make eye contact. So much for lightening the mood. Last night's sudden tension is still present. Even though we try to ignore it, or pretend it isn't there, we both know. We both can't look at each other directly, and our conversations feel awkward and stilted. But we pretend everything's normal as we try to put on our best performance and reenact our usual routine.
So, how long's the hike?
The brochure said about 90 minutes each way. Might take even longer in this weather.
Oh.
I can feel the gulf between us. It's like yet another canyon, except I don't know how to cross this one.
Picture in the brochure was super pretty. Angel's Landing, right?
Now it's urgent to try and lighten the mood. Hannah, we're both too afraid to just address the issue. But I'm just as guilty as she is here. And I sigh and play along as best I can. Yeah, it's nice. It's supposed to be the most scenic view in Zion. That's what Gramps told me anyway. This hike was one of his favorites. Said that the view was so lush, there were so many trees and plants that he discovered several new shades of green up here. It's one of the spots that he was most looking forward to visiting with me. I glance back up at the mountains. The mist doesn't look like it will clear anytime soon. In fact, it seems to be swallowing up more of the landscape. It's got Marina's attention too. She stares up as she's picking out specific details in the fog. While she's distracted, I let my gaze rove over her again. Guiltily, like I'm sneaking glances, but I don't care. Admiring the sweep of her shoulders down into her collarbone and the rest of the curves of her body. I let myself examine her like I did when we first met, and like I've been consciously abstaining from looking her over like it doesn't matter if she catches me anymore. She doesn't, though. I may as well be invisible to her right now as she studies the mountaintops. I don't want her to pay attention to me. She's wearing her usual boutique brand clothes. Their cute frilliness is just as perfect as ever for Marina. They clash with the clunkiness of the ugly brown boots. Sure you want to wear that? They might just get in the way. She gasps, almost offended by the suggestion that she wear anything else.
My skirt's so comfy. You're supposed to wear comfy clothes on hikes? Besides, with a name like Angel's Landing, it has to be pretty relaxing.
She gives me a big, honest smile, tipping her head to the hills. It's the first real smile I've seen from her all day.
So what are we waiting for? Let's go.
I melt, letting her skewed reasoning fall into the wayside just this once. Warm fuzzies and a goofy grin take over my dour mood, just for a moment. Alright, but no whining if they end up being a problem. Slinging the backpack over my shoulder, we head for the shuttle that leads to the trail. Logs and a stone fire pit adorn the side of each lot that we pass. Maybe when we get back, we'll go to the camp store and pick up some supplies to roast marshmallows. I think she'd like that.